Hello, this is Anna with Cottage on Oak, and welcome to my channel. Today I am moseying around the house. I actually got showered today and blow dried my hair. I have a lectureship that I'm speaking at, so I wanted to practice my hairstyle, and I thought this was the style I was going to go for. And after doing it, I have decided I will not be doing this hairstyle. So now I'm trying to think, what am I going to do with my hair? Of course, you know, us girls, we always think, what will I wear? And all these things. But that's been on my mind a lot here recently. And those are the things I think about while I'm cleaning up my house. My couch cushions were a mess. My kids love jumping on the couch, throwing the cushions on the floor and playing with them. Even if I ask them not to, they still do it, and it's okay. They are mostly thrifted anyways. My couch cushion, I can actually flip it around, and sometimes I do if my kid's got like a little stain on one side. I'll flip it to the clean side, and once that side gets a stain on it, then I'll strip it and wash it and clean it and all that stuff. I love all the plush fluffiness of couch pillows and cushions. Another thing is my ottoman is all stained up, so I'm going to have to figure out how to clean that up. So if you have some suggestions, please let me know in the comments below. Since it is springtime, I try to use a lot of like throws, like thin throws, and change up this ottoman, also to kind of protect it from getting even more stains on it. But I also like to throw blankets on chairs for that extra coziness for springtime. And this was a thrifted blanket. You can see it has holes in it, so I do have to be careful. But this isn't really a blanket you cozy up with from the thrift store. It's more of like this for styling. And I like the look that it gives to this chair as well. While this does give it a cozy look, it's also a great way to help protect my furniture. And sometimes I like to put one on my couch as well. And it also looks styled. To some it looks messy, but it's a messy styled look. We did put an offer in on a house and it was accepted, so we should be moving this month. And I'm very excited and also sad about that. There's mixed feelings. This year has already been full of highs and lows for me, and honestly lots of lows. I feel like the year just started and I've just had such a hard year so far. It has not been my favorite at all. And not to be a Debbie Downer, because I hate Debbie Downers, but I'm excited for this change for a new house and to decorate that new house and share that with you. So this may be one of the last cleaning videos you see of mine. And I'm not just cleaning in this video. I was cleaning up the house and then I remembered, I forgot her name, but her YouTube channel is Tidbits and Company, I believe, on YouTube. She is friends with like Farmhouse on Boone and other channels as well. But she did a video recently of her kitchen renovation, and then she shared a bread recipe. And so I was like, I can do that. And so I will be sharing that with you at the end of this video as well. And here it is, the end of the video. Here is the grain mill. This recipe does use freshly milled grain. So I got my grain mill out and ready to go. And this used up a whole small bag that you saw of einkorn wheat berries. And then about a quarter of another bag of einkorn wheat berries. Because this recipe of hers calls for 11 to 12 cups of flour. But when it's freshly milled, it's more like half of that. Because when it's fluffy and freshly milled, there's lots of air in there. So it's not as dense as if it would be from a package of flour off the shelf at Walmart, for example. This mill is pretty loud. It's the Wonder Mill.
Here comes Mommy. I'm turning it on, okay?
I turned the volume down on the mill in this video, but you can still hear it in that section just to let you know how loud it is. It's louder than a vacuum. The first part of the flour that I mill, I usually throw away. That way it gets all the old flour out of it, and I'll do just a little bit, and then I'll mill the amount that I need after that. Also, I was able to print her recipe out on my printer, which is so helpful because I do use my phone to record these videos. So that way I didn't have to look at my phone, I could just print it out and use it from there. And of course, in between making bread and cooking for my family, we did homeschooling. I didn't video that, but I also did laundry and cooked lunch, which you'll see a little bit of that later. But that's the thing about being a homemaker. You have to be flexible, you have to roll with the punches, you have to get some stuff done, and some stuff can wait, like the bread. I can wait to put the oil and all the ingredients in and mix it up while I get other stuff done. You just have to be okay with taking things slow, and you have to be okay with letting people, little people, interrupt you. It's not something to get upset over, it's not something to stress about, it's just life and it's okay. To mix this up, at the beginning I used my whisk attachment on my immersion blender, and then once it started getting super thick, I just took that out and used a wooden spoon, and I oiled it up pretty heavily before I started mixing this dough up. And this dough is super sticky. Now her recipe calls for sunflower lecithin, and I do not have that. So I thought, what could I use instead? So I used a little bit of rice flour and an extra egg. So her recipe called for 2 eggs, I used 3. And I also went heavy-handed on the oil in this bowl on purpose because the dough was extremely sticky for me, and I think going heavy-handed on this oil really helped the dough come out of the bowl later on. And in her recipe, she said to let it sit in a warm spot or in your oven with the light on. My oven's vintage, it does not have a light on the inside, or it might, but it doesn't work. So I was thinking, where am I going to put this to let it be warm? And usually on top of my oven I can, because my pilot lights are always on. But today I decided to try on top of my dryer because it was running today because I was doing laundry, and it worked like a charm. You see how big that is? I loved it. I was so happy. I have already packed up all of my wooden cutting boards, but I don't really use those very often. I use this glass cutting board because I can stick it in the dishwasher, and I use Molly Suds dishwasher tabs for my dishwasher to clean the dishes. I switched from Cascade to those, and they work pretty good. But glass cutting boards are my favorite. I feel like I can clean them better, and they're prettier, I guess, in some ways. I just like them. And I believe I got my glass cutting board at Walmart, where I get everything. Walmart or the thrift store. I also do not have the sandwich bread tins, loaf tins that she used, so I cut the dough in half instead of into 3s, and I put half into my cast iron, and the other half I used this Pioneer cake pan, and it worked out pretty good too. So for the second rise, which is shorter, I put them on my oven while I was cooking lunch. And you can see that they rose beautifully again. Also, I did not use active yeast, I used bread machine yeast because that's all I had. And when I cook, I make a mess. I don't know why. And I obviously clean it up, but man, I am such a messy maker. I have to grab this and grab that, and oh, I need this. And then I have like bread dough on my olive oil bottle and everywhere. I had it on my shirt. After this, we went to the store, and I looked down, and I had a huge glob of bread dough on my shirt. And I asked my husband, why didn't you tell me? And he's like, I didn't notice. Okay. But this bread turned out beautifully. It's super yummy because of the honey and the einkorn freshly milled flour. I love it so much. Now mine is a little crumbly, I think because I did not have the sunflower lecithin that she used in her recipe. And it looks a little like cake because of the pans I used, but it tastes like bread and it was super good. especially warm out of the oven. So thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe and comment down below your tips on getting some stains out of my ottoman. And I will see you next time. Thank you.